These are 10 fascinating facts about Surah As Saffat. This surah paints a sweeping scene from the highest ranks of the angels down to the secret whispers of human hearts. Classical scholars like Ibn Kathir and Al-Tabari describe it as a powerful defense of pure Tawheed, exposing the emptiness of idols and false gods. Its verses move like waves, scenes of the heavens, then hell, then paradise, then the trials of the prophets. Through all of this, As Saffat teaches that Allah's promise is true, His plan is precise, and sincere servants are never forgotten. Fact 1. The Oath of the Lined-Up Angels. This refers to verse 37:1. By those angels lined up in rows. Ibn Kathir explains that these are noble angels standing in disciplined ranks, obeying Allah without hesitation. The surah opens with this vast celestial formation, like an army of light, to show that the universe is not chaotic, but ordered under Allah's command. Al-Tabari relates that the early scholars saw in this oath a lesson for believers. Line up your hearts in obedience as the angels line up their bodies. In a world that feels scattered, this opening pulls the soul into alignment, reminding us that every command from Allah is part of a grand design. When you stand in prayer, shoulder to shoulder, imagine these unseen rows above you and feel yourself joining that silent, dignified choir of submission. Fact 2. The burning refutation of false gods. This refers to verse 37:22 through 23. Gather those who committed wrong, their kinds, and what they used to worship, other than Allah, and guide them to the path of hellfire. Ibn Kathir and Al-Qurtubi say this scene shows idols, false deities, and corrupt leaders being dragged along with those who adored them. The surah does not only condemn stone idols, it exposes every god people serve besides Allah, desires, prestige, and human authorities obeyed in disobedience to Him. Classical tafsir emphasizes that these verses are a courtroom of the hereafter, where all illusions collapse and only truth stands. The cinematic power lies here. Those who once strutted in arrogance are now driven together, helpless, toward the very fire they denied. For the listener, the message is piercing, yet hopeful. Break your chains now, before the day when your false attachments drag you where you never wished to go. Fact 3. The shock of the saved companion in paradise. This refers to verse 37:55 through 56. So he will look and see him in the midst of the hellfire. He will say, "By Allah, you almost ruined me." Ibn Kathir narrates that this is the story of a believer in paradise who remembers a former companion that used to mock faith. Al-Tabari explains that the believer's astonishment, seeing this man in hell, is a lesson in how close a soul can come to ruin through bad company. The scene is intimate and terrifying, a balcony of paradise overlooking the depths of hell, a memory of old conversations that nearly derailed a life. The believer's words, "You almost ruined me," echo like a warning through time, telling each listener that friendships are not neutral. They lead upward or downward. Yet, as the surah shows, Allah saves the sincere who hold to guidance, even when voices around them pull them toward doubt and sin. Fact 4. The secret of sincere servitude. Al-Mukhlasin. Throughout As Saffat, Allah repeatedly describes His chosen ones as the sincere servants of Allah, and Ibn Taymiyyah notes how central this phrase is to the surah. Al-Qurtubi points out that these are not perfect people. but people whose hearts are purified from worshipping anything besides Allah, even if they slip and repent. The surah contrasts them with the arrogant deniers, showing that the true dividing line on Judgment Day is not wealth, lineage, or fame, but sincerity. Their reward is not only escape from punishment, but special nearness, honor, and mention in the highest assembly. When this phrase returns again and again, it beats like a drum in the narrative, inviting every listener to ask, quietly, "Am I one of Allah's sincere servants?" Fact 5. The story of Ibrahim and the knife that never fell. This refers to verse 37. He said, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, of the steadfast." Ibn Kathir narrates that this was Ibrahim's beloved son, calmly surrendering himself to Allah's command, a command that would later be lifted by divine mercy. The surah slows down here, father and son walking, speaking softly, hearts trembling yet firm, to show the deepest form of trust, giving Allah what you love most. Classical tafsir explains that Allah never needed the blood. He wanted to reveal the truth of their submission, then raised them both in rank. The knife did not cut, but the test cut through centuries, teaching every generation that real love of Allah can cost you everything, and then give you more than you ever imagined. This scene turns sacrifice from a ritual into a living story of courage, tenderness, and a bond with Allah that no blade and no fear can sever. Fact 6. The denial of resurrection shattered. As Saffat brings the deniers of resurrection to the forefront, quoting their mockery and then dismantling it with sharp, simple logic. Ibn Kathir says they found it absurd that decayed bones could be brought back. Yet, the surah reminds them that the one who created them the first time can certainly repeat it. Al-Tabari notes that these arguments are not merely intellectual. They expose a hidden desire to live without accountability. The surah answers with scenes, not just words. People being driven, questioned, and confronted with the very crimes they once shrugged off. For the modern listener, these verses feel eerily current. People still joke about death, still build lives as if the end is only darkness, while As Saffat calmly insists, "You will return to the one who knows you completely." Fact 7. The humiliation of the mockers. One of the chilling motifs in As Saffat is the way mockery flips back on the mockers themselves. The disbelievers once laughed at the believers, doubting every warning, and Al-Qurtubi records how they used to call the Prophet and his followers astray and weak. On the day of resurrection, the surah shows these same people stunned, unable to defend themselves, watching those they insulted being honored by Allah. Ibn Kathir explains that this is not merely revenge, it is divine justice. Truth, once ridiculed, revealed in full daylight. The lesson is quiet but sharp. Be careful what you laugh at and whom you belittle, because Allah may raise that person above you in this life and the next. Fact 8. The prophets as a single golden thread. As Saffat moves quickly through stories of Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, Harun, Ilyas, Lut, and Yunus, stitching them into one continuous fabric. Ibn Kathir and Al-Tabari both highlight how each story ends with a similar note. Allah saved His believing servants and left a good remembrance for them among later people. This repetition feels like a refrain in a film score, reminding you that, across centuries, the pattern does not change. Hardship, patience, mockery, then sudden help from Allah. Al-Qurtubi says the surah invites the ummah to see itself as walking the same path, not as spectators of old tales. When you hear these names flowing one after another, it is as if the surah is placing a hand on your shoulder and saying, "You are part of this caravan. Stand firm." Fact 9. The image of hell as a roaring trap. This refers to verse 3768. Then indeed, their return will be to the hellfire. Ibn Kathir and others describe how As Saffat paints hell as a place of boiling drink, bitter food, and choking smoke, destroying every notion of sinful pleasure. The surah does not linger on gore. It focuses on regret, humiliation, and the crushing realization that warnings were true. Al-Tabari notes that words like return imply that people are not strangers to hell. They were walking toward it all along through their choices. The cinematic horror is not merely the fire itself, but the moment a person recognizes that every ignored sign, every arrogant shrug has led to this door. Yet within that fear lies mercy. By hearing these verses now, the listener is being quietly turned around, invited to choose a different destination before it is too late. Fact 10. The peaceful ending. Accept the sincere servants of Allah. This refers to verse 3740. Accept the sincere servants of Allah. Ibn Kathir mentions that after verses of threat and vivid punishment, this short line falls like cool rain, separating the fate of the sincere from the doom of the defiant. Al-Qurtubi and Ibn Taymiyyah both stress that this exception is the true heart of the surah. In the middle of cosmic conflict, there is a protected core, those whose worship is purely for Allah. The surah keeps returning to them, as if circling around a small group held safe in the eye of a storm. All of the terrifying scenes, the oaths, the fires, the denials, and the arguments funnel into this final distinction: destruction for those who turned away, everlasting joy for the sincerely devoted. When As Saffat closes, it leaves you with a quiet challenge, not merely to be good, but to become one of those few whose hearts, like the lined-up angels, stand straight only for Allah.